Today, I want to talk about a topic that affects all of us, even though very few people stop to think about it: intellectual property. More specifically, I want to show how the combination of patents, the pharmaceutical industry, the FDA, and the U.S. federal government forms a powerful machine that restricts freedom, drives up healthcare costs, and holds back human progress. Many believe that intellectual property is essential for the development of new ideas. After all, who would invest time and money into innovation without it, right? Wrong. After more than 30 years as a patent attorney, I can tell you that this argument is weak. The truth is, patents often hinder progress. Instead of protecting inventors, they block improvements, competition, and access. They grant monopolies for 17 years or more, delaying solutions that could benefit millions. The same applies to copyright. The idea that it serves freedom is a myth. Copyright is a form of censorship. It prevents people from sharing, remixing, and spreading culture and knowledge. The content creator is often the one who benefits the least. Supporters of the system argue that without these laws, we'd see a market failure. They claim no one would innovate without guaranteed profit. But think about it. In what other sector has the government identified a supposed market failure and actually solved it with regulation? Even after centuries of experience with patents, there's not a single conclusive piece of evidence that they increase innovation. In fact, there are serious studies showing the opposite, that patents do more harm than good. The only sector where many liberals still defend patents is pharmaceuticals. Okay, let's get rid of patents, but not for medicine because it's expensive to develop. That's the standard argument. But it ignores a crucial point. Medications are expensive not because of innovation costs, but because of government bureaucracy. The main reason drugs cost so much is the FDA itself. To get a new drug approved, a company has to go through years of testing and spend millions. Instead of tackling this regulatory bottleneck, the system creates a perverse incentive. It allows companies to charge absurd prices protected by a legal monopoly, all to compensate for costs created by the government in the first place. It would make much more sense to reform the regulatory process, not reward companies with privileges. Even if patents were abolished, producing generics would still require technical knowledge, time, and infrastructure. Competition wouldn't appear overnight, so the argument that everyone would just copy and no one would innovate doesn't hold up. The first to release a product would still have a competitive advantage, just like in many industries today that don't rely on patents. What we have now is a triple alliance between the government, the FDA, and the pharmaceutical industry. The FDA approves drugs after years of review. Then, the company gets a monopoly lasting nearly 2 decades. Even when that period ends, the FDA can delay generics with more red tape. Meanwhile, doctors, afraid of lawsuits, follow rigid protocols. Insurance companies cover the costs without question, and patients don't even realize the real value of what they're consuming. And if you're using a public healthcare plan, the government simply passes the cost on to taxpayers. So we pay twice, first to fund regulation and research, then to cover inflated prices for drugs that could cost a fraction of the price. To make matters worse, much of the basic research, like new molecules, techniques, or technologies, is often done with public money, in universities and labs funded by taxes. But when a private company steps in, it patents the result, profits from it, and prevents others from using it. That's not a free market. That's crony capitalism with an innovation-friendly mask. The solution to this problem is not to fix the patent system. The solution is to abolish it completely. It never worked well, and history shows that it's a source of privilege, not progress. What we need to do is abolish all intellectual property laws, drastically reduce the FDA's regulatory powers, end the monopoly doctors have over prescriptions, reform liability laws for doctors, repeal laws like the Affordable Care Act that distort the healthcare market, repeal laws like the Bayh-Dole Act that allow privatization of discoveries made with public funds, and prevent government scientists from patenting discoveries paid for by the people. Progress is born from freedom, experimentation, and competition, not from monopoly, bureaucracy, and censorship. It's time we leave this outdated system behind and face the truth. Intellectual property is an illusion we can no longer afford to sustain.